Now, China has vowed to counter U.S. pressure on tariffs and trade, accusing Washington of repaying kindness with resentment. Speaking on the sidelines of the two sessions political meetings in Beijing, China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi framed Beijing as a bulwark of stability in an unstable world. The top Chinese diplomat said that mutual respect was the basic principle governing relations and that no country should fantasize that it can suppress China and maintain good relations with China at the same time. Wang Yi's comments came as Trump pushed ahead with tariffs on Chinese goods, a move that led to quick retaliation by Beijing.
相互尊重是国与国交往的
Mutual respect is the basic norm governing the relations between states and also an important prerequisite of China-US relations. No country should fantasize that it can suppress China and maintain good relationship with China at the same time. Such two-faced acts are not good for the stability of bilateral relations or for building mutual trust.
也无法建立起彼此的互信。
Calling for China and the United States to coexist peacefully, Wang said that the current U.S. policy was not how a responsible major country behaves. He also warned the law of the jungle could take hold if nations only pursued their own interests.
There are around 190 countries in the world. Imagine if every country emphasized their own priority and believed in strength and status, the world would fall back into the law of the jungle. Small and weak countries would bear the brunt, and international rules and order would be severely attacked.
Now, Wang also reiterated Beijing's claim on Taiwan, saying that the island's return to its control remained the shared hope of all Chinese people.
Upholding the One China principle means opposing any attempts of Taiwan independence. The complete reunification of the motherland is the shared aspiration of all Chinese people, an unstoppable trend and a just cause. Any attempt at Taiwan independence is a reckless act of self-destruction, like a mantis trying to stop a chariot. China will and must be reunified.
He also touched on another key flashpoint, the South China Sea, which Beijing claims almost in its entirety. Wang accused the Philippines and the West of provoking confrontations in the region. The foreign minister called for negotiations to end the war in Ukraine, warning conflict has no winners and peace has no losers. He said that China welcomes and supports all efforts dedicated to peace. Wang Yi also noted that China-India relations have made positive strides over the past year. He said that the successful meeting between Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Kazan last October provided strategic guidance for improvement and development of bilateral ties. Wang also emphasized that China and India should come together to promote the development of the global south and that the border dispute between the two nations should not be the only thing determining their bilateral ties. For more on this, we're now being joined by Assistant Editor Foreign Affairs, Siddhant Sibal, on the phone line. Siddhant, thank you so much for joining us. Now, from what it seems, what we're seeing right now is a pivot. We know that China-US relations, they have been through their fair share of tensions and ups and downs. Under Donald Trump's presidency, tensions seem to have soared slightly. And when it comes to India, there has been a call for India and China to work together. So how do you assess this Siddhant?
Significant statement by the Chinese foreign minister talking about how India and China should work together. It's almost a one-page long statement. In the last 5 years, I haven't seen such a lengthy statement coming from the Chinese foreign minister on India relationship. But that is primarily because of two things. First, of course, the bilateral relationship. Both the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Chinese President met in Kazan in Russia last year. And since then, the foreign ministers have met twice, sidelines of the G20. The defense ministers have met. The NSA level meeting, the ESTA level meeting has happened in Beijing, the foreign secretary level meeting has happened. And these meetings basically show that both sides are working towards normalcy in the relationship with, of course, direct flights, more visas, and the restart of trade at Nathula and the Mansarovar Yatra. The second, of course, is the international dynamics. Increasingly, we have seen the global political order facing a disruption because of Donald Trump. It's almost like a daily basis now coming up with tweets, posts that is disrupting the world, especially, of course, the trading world. He has already announced a 10% tariff on China. He wants trading deals with countries bilaterally, including with India. And that, of course, is something that is being taken note in every capital, including in Beijing. And Beijing has more worries, including, of course, its all-weather partner, Pakistan, now facing its worst economic and security crisis in decades. In this bit, India emerges as an important, stable country with a political leadership which is stable, with an economy which is growing. It is the fifth largest economy, soon to be the third largest economy. It looks like the Chinese have calculated that it's better to have a better relationship and a good relationship with Delhi than, of course, to bank on a world which is going through a turmoil.
Absolutely, Siddhant. In fact, I was just going to come to this, that do you think that this pivot is coming now, that this call for India and China to work together is coming at a time when, of course, we know that Donald Trump, his hardline approach when it comes to trade, foreign policy, you are right to say that this perhaps would be a calculated approach where China recognizes India's power and is now rallying support for China, of course, now that US President Donald Trump is in the White House.
Well, of course, these dynamics play when countries take their decision. It's all about reading the tea leaves, and everyone is currently doing that. Given the turmoil globally, which we have seen, we are increasingly seeing that Trump is focusing on resolution of conflicts in West Asia and Ukraine. What does that mean for the Indo-Pacific? That perhaps means more pressure coming on China as well. So everyone is calculating, the Chinese are calculating, and that is why it looks like there are a lot of positive comments coming from Beijing towards New Delhi.
Right. Well, Siddhant, thank you so much for bringing us the latest on this. Of course, we'll continue to track this closely. Thank you so much for now. For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.